What's up, guys? Welcome to the Venting Vault podcast, the ultimate safe place where we vent and we grow forever. This is Mitch, your main host, and we back again, guys. And this is episode number 3. Yeah, this is episode number 3, man. I've been so excited. I know it's been a while that I haven't really posted anything, but I've been really kind of busy with work schedule and everything. But we're back again, guys. And today I do have a special guest. You know, she's one of my family members. She's my little sister. So today she's here and she's gonna introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Mildred.
Yeah, my bad. This is Lil Mil. I call her Lil Mil. She's my little sister. Yeah, she's my blood sister. But yeah, we're here, and one of the reasons why she's here is because, man, her story and what she had told me, what she went through, it was really interesting. And I just thought that maybe this can actually help people out, and I hopefully today with this you can actually relate, because man, I just thought it was really kind of crazy what she went through, and it really caught my attention so much that I just thought it was like really perfect. And she wanted to vent, she wanted to talk about it, she wanted to vent, and she just kind of like, she was like, hey, you know what, get me in, I want to vent, I want everybody to know what happened to me, so I mean, first of all, if you want, you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Little Mil, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me here.
No, you're welcome.
Yeah. Well, how do you want to start off though? Like, what?
Well, I mean, just introduce yourself, who you are, right?
Okay. Well, he's my brother. Mildred Romero, and 23 actually, and I've been through a lot actually.
Okay, this is funny, right? Because I know she's kind of shy.
This is my first podcast actually. Yeah, so
of course.
A little
shyness. No problem. That's what we're here for, and I'm here to go ahead and guide you, right?
Yeah.
So this is gonna be really fun, right? So, and I think this is a really important topic, because I feel like a lot of people just talk about it in a certain month. I feel like this topic should be talked about any other time of the day, because this is really important. And this topic has to do a lot with domestic violence, right? And there's a lot of people that went through it, females and including men too. We go through it too as well. But so basically this is what it's really all about. She's gonna go ahead and talk about what she went through, her side of the story, right? So we're gonna go ahead and start, right? So my very first question to you, it's like pretty much like, can you share a moment when you were like in an abusive relationship? Like, when did everything started?
When everything started was actually when I moved out of my mom's house. I moved out. It was crazy. Like, you don't even understand. This happened like around 2021, I believe. And well, like I'm not gonna get into detail, right? But like basically she abused me while I was living at my mom's house actually, but she abused me more when we were living together. Like, it was like indoors,
Yeah.
Like, she didn't want for my family to see how she was treating me, so she would do it when my family wasn't around.
Yeah, of course, because I didn't find out. I didn't find out about this, guys, until like later on. We're just eating and we're just having a good time, just talking about just random stuff, and then eventually my sister just opened up and just told my whole family, and my family just looked at each other like, when did this happen? And that's the thing, right? Because she used to live with us. And I was just gonna ask you so people can know, like, what made you like move out of, because you were there with us and everything was fine, but then I know you met this person, but then what made you? Because that's my real question to you, right? I don't think, as a brother, I never even asked you.
Yeah.
But what made you leave us? What made you leave me?
No.
What happened?
I get you. No, actually, I actually got kicked out of my mom's house because of her. Because I'll tell you guys a story, so we were living, she used to be sleeping over my house a lot, and my mom would, like let her, she was like, okay, fine, whatever, right, you can sleep over. But it became a habit actually, like that she would have to like sleep over at my house every single day, and that's why you would see her, like, all the time. And like she never wanted to go home. Like, she never wanted to. And I was like, okay, pues, my house is open for you. You can come whenever you want. It doesn't matter. And it just became a habit, right? So there was this one time, one of our family members actually heard us arguing and heard us, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like that we were hitting the door, the walls, and everything, because she was pushing me around.
Damn.
And
Where was I? I don't
nah,
know.
you weren't there, but my tia Pilar was there. She
Yeah.
was the one that saw everything. And I would tell my tia, I was like, don't tell my mom, like, please, like, I don't want them to see her different, So I was like, no, like, don't tell her. And she's like, but why, like, you're getting hit, like, I was like, I know, but
Me
like,
están chingando.
yeah. So I was like, no, like, don't get involved, please, like, So my tia didn't say anything. So days passed and everything, and eventually my tia ended up telling my mom, and I would deny it, right? I was like, whatever. And then there was this one time when my mom was like, I don't want her here anymore. Like, actually, there was this one time that I got in a fight with my ex, and we went to go wake up mom, and she was like dead asleep, right? So we went to go wake her up and everything, right? And you know how my mom gets, right? Like, she's like, oh, why'd you wake me up? Like, ¿qué tienen? ¿Qué traes? And I was like, well, this one over here, like, she started like hitting me and everything. And like, that's when I started opening up to my mom, because I was like, I don't know what to do. And
You're like, save me. They're kicking my ass.
and she was like, my ex was like, I want to kill myself. And I was like, oh, like, what's wrong? Like, because she had found out supposedly that I was cheating on her at work. Oh, she used to work with me, actually. And she thought that I was cheating on her. And like, I don't know where she got that from. And she was like, at that time she was close to my mom, and my ex got my mom an Apple Watch, And then I was like, okay, whatever, right? We went, and then she was all like, go wake your mom up. And I was like, why? And she was all like, I want the Apple Watch back. And I was like, what the heck? Like, are you serious? Why are you being an Indian giver just because you're hearing all these stuff about me, and you gonna take away my mom's Apple Watch? Like, that's so stupid. She's like, well, I bought it for her. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, okay, whatever. We went to go wake up my mom. My mom was pissed, dude. Like, she was pissed. And I told my mom, I was like, no me quiere dejar en paz, and this and this and that. And I told my mom, I was like, se quiere matar. Like, what the heck?
Ayúdame, porque
yeah, because I was
se
like,
nos va a ir.
I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I was so scared, like.
Yeah, of course.
And my mom was all like, háblale a la policía. Y luego my ex just came to my mom's room, and she was like, Miriam, dame el Apple Watch. And then I was like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
I did hear about that. Yeah.
My mom was all like, llévate la chingada, no lo quiero. And I was like, bro. Like,
yeah, I remember that because there was a point when I guess y'all got back together, and then I think you gave me an Apple. I said, oh yeah, you can have this one. I was like, oh no, I'm good. Me lo van a quitar ya después.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Well, that night, that's when you were actually there. My dad ended up waking up, and you know how my dad is, right? And he doesn't like drama at the house.
Nah, of course, nobody likes drama.
And that's when we all woke up, and then my dad was like, pues si se quiere matar, pues que this and that. And then like I kept telling my ex, I was like, get out of the house, dude, like nobody wants you here. And she was like, no. And then I think that's when you came in, and she was in my room, and then that's when mom called the cops, and the cops couldn't like get her out. And then pues after that, my mom hated her, and she was
because I do remember like waking up, and I was like, oh,
like
what's going on?
she was going
it was
crazy.
like, I know, because I went once I already hear my mom like raising her voice and already kind of talking smack. I was like, oh damn. I was like, who's she? It's either two people that she's even telling to. That's either my sister or me. But I was asleep, so I was like, okay, that gotta be my sister. I need to go watch this outside. Let me see. And it's funny though, because my stepdad always tells me every time when there's an issue going on and you go and check, you always end up getting your ass beat for some reason. And then it's true. Like, it's like I have nothing to do with the guys. And then I don't know where Mitch just shows up and pop, 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 I get slapped by my mom. I was like, oh, damn. I should have stayed back in my room.
That's true.
You know, so that's the funny part. That's how Mexican moms are. So if you have a Mexican mom, you definitely understand how they are. Right? So, and that's really crazy. I think my other question is like, did you had any concerns, or like were you afraid of leaving that relationship?
I was actually not in love. I was scared of being alone, actually. That's why I didn't want to leave her. I was like, no, like, I know if I leave her, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna be nothing, because like I got so used to her. I got so used to being around her for 3 years. So I was like, damn, like, how am I gonna live life, you know? But yeah, I was pretty much scared. And even my friends would tell me, dude, leave her, like look what she's doing. And I was like, nah, like, I was just like, you know, like, I'll be in my own little world. Like, I didn't know how much I was worth. You get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was pretty much like scared. I got more scared to leave her when we started living together. But I'll tell you the reasons why I was more scared, like, later on.
Well, I mean, you can tell me right now, like, what is like one of the things that actually made you really scared that, you know, you didn't want to leave, you know?
I didn't want to be alone. Like, I didn't want to. I felt like I wasn't gonna find love, actually. I was like, damn, like, what am I gonna do? But that actually had me thinking. I felt like I was just with her just because. I was just with her because of history. I wasn't there because, like, I actually loved her, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't, at the beginning when I met her, I feel like it was love. Like, I loved her and I gave her everything, like, literally everything. And when she left me, she took a little part of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, you sometimes you just feel like,
Yeah.
damn, it disturbs you and everything. So I definitely understand how you feel in that part, because I've been through that situation too. So like another question that I have is like, was there like, what is like one of the craziest things that she ever did to you when you guys were together? Was there any kind of I mean, because I know you did say that there was some violence and everything, so, but like, did she ever hit you with something, or did you ever hit her back, or like what happened like that made you feel like, oh damn, I need to get out of here?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that happened when we first moved in together. She didn't even last like 2 months living with me, because and before I left the house, my dad did tell me, he was like, don't be saying yes to her all the time.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
gonna take advantage.
Yeah.
And stop buying her things. She's gonna get chiflada. I didn't listen. So I was like, okay, whatever, right? We lived together. Or like I said, she used to work with me. She was so toxic, like super toxic. I couldn't talk to my coworkers. I couldn't do anything. If she would see me talking to one of my coworkers, she wouldn't talk to me during the shift at all. So there was this one time when I got home and to the apartment with her, and she was like, I don't know, she was being rude to me and this and that. At that time, I was getting promoted. I was already gonna become like a team leader at that time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I guess she was really jealous of it. Like, she was jealous of me or something. I don't know. And that day, I ended up getting a call from my GM from Whataburger. And she was telling me like, hey, we're going to do this and that. I want you to go to the classes. And I was like, okay, we're cool and everything, right? I don't know what my ex was doing in the living room, but she was in the living room and I was in the room. And like, when I hanged up right away, my ex comes inside the room and she's all like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she was all like, who are you on the phone with? And I was like, oh, like with the GM. And she's like, give me your phone. And I was like, what the heck? Like, nobody takes away my phone. But I was like, you know what? Whatever.
Nobody takes away my phone but my mom.
Yeah. Like, I was like, what? Like, I don't know. But she took away my phone. And then I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to trip. An hour later passes and she tells me, she's like, Mildred. And I was like, what? And then she was all like, can you go get me tacos? And I was like, dude, really? Like, and I was like, I'm not gonna go, dude. It's already late at night. I'm not gonna drive to go get tacos. And she was like, she started throwing her tantrums, and she was like, you never want to give me anything. And I was like, dude, I was like, okay, you know what? Whatever. At that time, I was good in money. My credit score was good. I was living life. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I go, right, and I start driving by myself. And this is crazy, honestly. I always tell this to my friends because this is crazy. So when I was driving, and I was driving back already home, I remember I had a talk with God. And I was like, please, God, do whatever you need to do to get her off my chest and get her out of my life. I do not want her anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And then as soon as I get home, I was so stressed. I was like, here's your tacos. I went inside the room. And then she just ate and everything, right? And she called me again, right? And I go. And she's like, let's watch movies. Let's buy popcorn and watch movies. And I'm like, okay. Like, I was like, okay, she's not mad no more. Okay, I'm good. And then, I don't know, she went to the restroom, and that's when I grabbed my phone, and that's when my mom called me. She called me, and she started telling me something about one of her cousins, I don't know what, right? And then that's when my ex comes in, and she was all like, what are you doing? And I was like, dude, I was on the phone with my mom, like, calm down. And she's like, okay, whatever. So we go to Walmart, right? We're driving, and I don't know what the heck happened to her, but she threw her phone at my face, and it hit me right here. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, what's wrong with you, dude? Like, why are you acting like that? Like, what's wrong? And she's like, you never pay attention to me. You're always talking to your mom, this and this and that. But get this, she was always mad that I had a good bond with my mom because she never had a good bond with her parents.
Oh, okay.
If you know,
makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? So I was like, dude, like, she's my mom. Like, I never get to see her, and I never get to talk to her. And she's like, no, whatever. And she was just, I was so scared to leave the house because there was this one time when we both almost crashed because of her.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's interesting. Okay.
So I was just driving, right? And we went to Walmart, and at that time there was like COVID, right? And I told her, I was like, get off the car. And then she was all like, get off with me, right? And she was all like, I'm not gonna get off the car. I was like, I want to leave. And I was like, dude, we just got out of the house. Like, why do you want to leave? And she was like, I don't want to be here. And she's like, give me the car keys. And I was like, no, dude, like, I don't trust you with my car at all. And then she was all like, I don't care. And I was all like, so I just like, I got my keys, I left, and I was just going back. I mean, I was going to Walmart, walking to Walmart, and then I forgot my mask. So there I go back to the car, and I'm like, damn it. Like, I go back to the car, and she locks the doors, and I was like, oh my God. And then I had the keys, and she kept like locking it and unlocking it, and I was like, oh my God. And then like that's when I opened her door, and I was like, what is your problem, dude? Why are you acting like that? And then I put my keys in, I had sweatpants, and I put it in my pocket. And this is so crazy because this has never happened to me. She got out of the car, and we were fighting for the keys, and she was like, give me the keys. And I was like, no. And I don't know what I did, that I moved and my keys fell on the floor. And I was like, what? Like, how? And she just grabbed them, she pushed me, and she was actually pinching me, and she was trying to take off my clothes in front of everybody.
What?
Yes. And she would like pinch me, and she was like, give me the keys. Until like eventually the keys fell to the floor.
Like, that hurt.
Yeah, like it fell to the floor, and she grabbed them. She went inside the car. I don't know how fast she was, but she got inside the car. She drove off, and she left me at Walmart. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what? Like, I was just, I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? Okay, whatever. I called her sister. I was like, hey, your sister's, I don't know why. This was actually the second time she got, la puse in jail. Like,
you called the cops on her?
Yeah, I called the cops
Oh,
on her. This was the second time. This is when I actually like left her alone. That's when I knew. I was like, that's it. Like, that is it, dude. Like,
that's
no
the
more.
final draw.
Yeah. And she I called her, her sister. I was like, hey, like, if you don't come and pick up your sister, dude, I'ma lock her up, dude. Like, I'm gonna press charges on her. And she's like, what did she do? And I was like, dude, she took away my car. Like, and I end up seeing her, my ex, driving, and she wanted to.
With your car?
Yeah, with my car,
No
driving
way.
around a Walmart, dude.
No way.
I was like,
Okay.
what? And like, she was driving, dude, and she sees me, and she like almost hit me. Like, I see, like, she almost hit me, and I was like, hey, dude, like, chill out. What's wrong? Like, dude, you're making a big. She was making a big show. Yeah, like in front of everybody. Like, I thought that was embarrassing. And she's all like, I don't know what she said, and I was like, dude, give me my car. And she like drove off, and I was like, what the heck? So yeah, her sister gets here like in 10 minutes, and that's when we try to go find her, and we don't find her. And then her sister told me, she was like, hey, do you want me to drop you off home? And I was like, pues ya que, right? Pues we'll see if she gets home too with my car, because there's no way she took my car. So we went to the apartment, and she gets there, my ex gets there, and she starts acting crazy. And I'm like, lock the doors, dude. Lock the doors. I don't know. I don't want her inside. I was like, just lock the doors. And she, her sister locked the doors and everything. And was obviously my ex got really, really, really like mad. And she started like knocking and hitting the door, and it was so embarrassing because all my neighbors were out. Like, that was so embarrassing. And then I wasn't alone, actually. I was with her sister and her boyfriend. And my ex's sister's boyfriend went outside and told her, hey, calm down, dude, like, calm down. And I don't know what my ex did, that she pushed the window and it like shattered, like se rompió.
Which window?
The one from my apartment.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everything like shattered, and she ended up like, she got a glass.
Yeah.
You know, y se lo apuntó.
Al vato.
Yes, he was all like, let me in, like, I don't want you guys inside my house, like, get out of my house. And then pues el guy se asustó.
Sí,
He was
no.
like, what the heck, dude, like, chill, you know.
Yeah.
And then pues the guy came inside. He was like, dude, he was telling his girlfriend, like, hey, your sister's crazy, dude, like, you need to call the cops, like.
Yeah.
And pues I was literally shaking, like, I was like, I don't know what to do, because I didn't want to call the cops at that time because we had a restraining order.
Yeah, I remember the part. I do remember. I think my mom encouraged you to put a restraining order.
Yes.
I don't know if that everything that started when that happened at the house. So yeah, I do remember that part.
I ended up putting her a restraining order the first time she got arrested, because I was like, no, like, I had to. So I didn't want to call the cops because I thought I was going to get in trouble, because they did tell me, like, if you keep contact with her, you can get in trouble. And I was like, oh, like, and then her sister kept telling me, she was like, call the cops. And I was like, dude, I'm going to get in trouble. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
And then, pues, eventually I ended up calling the cops, and I called the cops.
What's the emergency?
Like, I'll say about, like, 10 cops got there. Like, 10 cops in an instant. Llegaron. I don't know. Oh, well, that's crazy. Before I get into that, she did run me over that day.
Damn.
She
Oh, wait, that same day?
Yeah, she actually ran me over, because I was all like, I was like, she's gonna leave the house. She kept getting in my car, and I was like, I'm not gonna let her leave with my car. So me and her sister went to go get her at my car, and we were like fighting back and forth. And I was like, give me the car, dude, like, give me the car. And she was all like, no, this and that. And I don't know what I did, that like, she took off the key from my car, and my car was still on. And that pissed me off, because I was like, dude, it's my car. And I punched her in the head. Like, I went like that, and I punched her. I can say I did hit her at that time, like, just there, because I mean, like, it's my car, you know, like.
She was like, yeah, it got too out of hand.
Yeah.
No. I mean, you're defending yourself. I think she did so much damage that you just had no choice, that you're like, hey, what the hell? Okay.
Yeah. And then, pues, the door was obviously open, right? And I thought the car couldn't move. So I don't know what she did, that she pressed the brake, she put it in reverse, and she pressed the gas, and she hit me with the car 2 times.
2 times?
Yeah. When I was getting up, she started laughing, and she did it again. And I was like, oh, hell no. Like, she hit me 2 times with the car, and I went under it.
How did she hit you 2 times? Oh, like you went, literally.
Not literally under the car, right? But you know how the door is open? I went like under the door. Y me raspé toda, like everything.
Oh,
If
okay.
you know what that means.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
she did it hard. And like I was going towards the car, I was like if I was gonna push the car, right? But no, like the car like threw me off and I went under
no,
it.
pues
Yeah.
te va a
Yeah.
chingar el carro.
No, but
Damn,
that happened.
that's crazy. But okay, so like my question is like you said you got hit by what? By the door? How did
Pretty
that?
much, yeah. Pretty
So
much
the
with
door
the door.
hit you. The door was still open, and then that's whenever you fell to the floor.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought she literally like,
Oh, no, I would have been there.
yeah, I was like, damn, that's crazy. But even though still getting run,
It,
I mean, even though still getting hit by a car, that's crazy.
it,
I heard stories like I have a friend of mine, and I know she's kind of shy to be in the podcast and everything like that, but she did tell me a story, and it was really crazy. She did mention that she got beat up once, and this one guy beat her up with the. I mean, don't laugh, and it's crazy, guys. But she got hit with the barbecue pit. You know, they threw her a barbecue pit. Just imagine that, guys. You're fighting
no
with your
way.
partner and they throw you a barbecue pit. Like, my question is, how do you even, like, well, it depends what barbecue pit it is, right? But how does even someone throw a barbecue pit to somebody? I think that's crazy, you know. But yeah, that's why I thought it was really interesting when my sister was telling me this story, because it's like I've never heard this side of her story, right? Because, and I know a lot of people might be, well, where were you? You're the older brother. You should be the one protecting her. Yeah, of course, you're right. Where was I? But the thing is that my little sister, she's always been a warrior. She's always fought her own battles. She's always done everything on her own, you know. And yeah, there's times that whenever there's guys involved, I'll step in, and she knows. She knows about that. I don't back down, you know. But and that's what we're here for. We're family, you know. But yeah, that's a really crazy thing, and and the thing is like what actually motivated you to actually like kind of leave that abusive relationship.
At that time when we left each other, I found good friends actually. I had great friends that
See ya.